I gotta say, I think you were one of the most likable guys ever to appear on the Joe Rogan Experience. Just because,
Really?
yeah, I really think that the general impression was that you don't take yourself too seriously.
No, not usually.
In spite of, I mean, your work is completely serious, albeit veiled with a certain amount of comedy. You don't perceive that in yourself though?
I mean, I do. I actually, it's really funny because I know the work that I'm doing is, I'm willing to actually say deadly serious. It is extremely serious, the things that I'm analyzing and why truth and methodology and ultimately what we're really looking at, if we want to fly all the way out to the moon and look at it biggest picture, is, conflict resolution systems. That's really, really important, and it has to be taken seriously. And the corruption of academia is a very serious problem. The corruption leaking into culture and informing how we organize our society is very, very important. The ability for this to take over individuals and create this very toxic, polarized socio-political environment is very toxic. So this is all super serious. But if you can't, it's like the person at the middle of it doesn't really matter. And so that's where you shouldn't take yourself seriously. So I do actually try. I have this weird thing where it's like people are all the time asking me, what do you want to be known as? And it's like, I'd rather be known kind of as, not quite as a comedian, but like if I had to be known for one thing, if I had to choose between smart and funny, it would be funny for sure.
Yeah, I remember you said something along those lines to Bridget Fedezi. It might have been last year, but I was wondering what you meant by that. You said that you would rather lean towards comedy as an instrument, I guess, to do the serious work. Like, what's kind of the inspiration there and the ideal in terms of how that would manifest for you?
Well, I like to laugh. I mean, that's really at the bottom of it. It's a lot of this stuff, and it's actually a good thing that you're bringing this up for me right now, because I've kind of lost sight of the humor in the stuff I'm doing. I do manage to, crack jokes at it or laugh at it or parody it and whatnot to some degree still. But if you kind of can step back from how serious it is, this stuff's actually really funny. And I've always, I grew up where it was all like, how do you make the joke? What's the joke to make? We're all a group of friends, hanging out, growing up together, all guys, trying to prank each other, trying to joke with each other. And it's just, I'm always kind of happiest when we're looking for not the way to like cut other people down, make fun of stuff, but to make fun of stuff, not people. Right. And so making fun of stuff, I just love to do. It's making things fun. And I try to have a really good time with that. And I think it's really, a place where I become happy. But making fun of people, I'm not really all that down with. That's kind of, not where it goes. And I think comedy actually can really cut into that pretty well. I don't want to be a stand-up guy, or anything like that, but I do like to try to come up with witty ways to look at things and things that make me laugh, and share the things that make me laugh and frame things in ways that I hope make other people laugh. I've noticed that my jokes tend to go over people's heads a lot of time though, and that's probably not that good.
Well, it might just mean you have a good dry wit,
It's dry. I always like to tell people that, if you complain about my dry wit, you couldn't handle my wet wit. But
I've always been a big advocate, though, that comedy and the serious work go hand in hand. It's not like you have to step aside from really meaningful stuff to, give yourself a break or just indulge in a laugh. Like the two work together, and the intelligence is kind of streamlined there, I think.
Yeah, Bridget and I actually have a kind of like meeting of minds that's pretty profound on the level of understanding that you can do serious work without taking yourself seriously in the middle of it. And the second that you start taking yourself too seriously is the second that you're, on the road to, I don't know if ruin is right, but it's something like that. That pomposity is just not necessary. And in fact, it's counterproductive in the long run. So I strongly try to avoid taking myself too seriously, even though the work is very, very serious and very important.